Good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, staff, friends, and family, welcome to today's ceremony where we recognize Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Stucky's promotion to Colonel. Officiating today's ceremony is Colonel Donald Kimbler, Landstuhl Regional Medical Center's Chief Nursing Officer. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of our official party and remain standing as Specialist Dumpet sings the national anthems of the Federal Republic of Germany and the United States of America, followed by the invocation given by Chaplin Trahan.
Einigkeit und Recht und Freiheit für das deutsche Vaterland. Danach lasst uns alle streben, brüderlich mit Herz und Hand. Einigkeit und Recht und Freiheit sind des Glückes Unterpfand. Blüh im Glanze dieses Glückes, blüh deutsches Vaterland. Blüh im Glanze dieses Glückes, blüh deutsches Vaterland. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Let us pray. Gracious God, I thank you for this day and the promotion ceremony that brings us together. As we gather to celebrate the promotion of Christopher Stucky to the rank of colonel, our hearts are filled with gratitude for him and the family. I ask that you would direct his path and give him strength as he continues to carry out his responsibilities. I pray that you would give him a spirit of discernment and wisdom as he leads others to become great leaders. Bless his family for their support to serve the nation and others through his professional endeavors. I ask that you be gracious to his wife, Michelle, as he continues to develop leaders to the next level. Bless his wife, Michelle, and daughter, Lauren, as they continue to support him each and every day. Unite us all in the spirit of service and allow us to persevere no matter what comes our way. It's in your name that I pray. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. We would like to extend a special welcome to our distinguished guest, Colonel Ted Brown, LRMC Hospital Commander, Colonel Stephen Knapp, Command Nurse Executive, Medical Readiness Command Europe. Colonel Dennis Turner, Chief Nurse, 30th Medical Brigade. Colonel Billy Murray, 519th Hospital Center, Deputy Commander for Nursing. Colonel John Patrick, United States Space Force. Lieutenant Colonel Stucky is joined today by his wife, Mrs. Michelle Stucky, and their daughter, Miss Lauren Stucky. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our host for today's ceremony, Colonel Donald Kimbler.
Hey, welcome everybody. It's a great honor today that I get to officiate this amazing ceremony. There's very few promotions that you get in the Army. If you think about it, as a lieutenant, you get promoted, with a group of your peers, and then a captain. It's usually in a ceremony around some friends. But then you have major, lieutenant colonel, and colonel. You have 3 major promotions in the entire Army. For most of us. And then some of us will move on to be a star, but that's rare, right? So this promotion is a very important time in an officer's life. And this brilliant young nurse here has asked me to officiate that. I couldn't be more honored. I'll tell you a few things about Chris Stucky. Chris, if I had to say what it means to be a nurse, it means to be a caring advocate. And I don't think there's anyone that I know that cares more and advocates more for his country, his family, his profession, and the people around him. He really does care, and he really does take care of people. And that's one of the things that got him where he is today. Chris told me that he, at one point, that he was a little bit worried that he would never make 06 because he didn't go that command route that everyone says is traditional. So how did he do it, right? Chris is probably the most prolific publisher in the Nurse Corps. And that is the Army, Navy, Air Force. I don't know if the Space Force has nurses, but Army, Navy, and Air Force, all of the tri-service nursing. If I have it right, last year in TSNRP, there were 39 publications. Chris had 15 of them. That's out of all of the services. So he's really, really prolific, right? And what does that mean? He's contributing to the profession. He's changing the profession. He's making the profession better. As far as awards, he's done many great things through the AORN, which is the Association of OR Nurses. He's a fellow at the AORN. He's won many, many research awards, more than I count. I don't even know if I have enough fingers on my hands, the number of awards. And some people never will publish all the time and never achieve that. So just a brilliant young nurse. I keep saying young, I'll come back to that. So he started out the Army. He was enlisted. He was a 68 Delta OR tech, right? So as a 68, he spent 10 years in the Army as an OR tech before he became a nurse, and then blossomed into the colonel that he's becoming today. And along the way, took care of soldiers, took care of the profession. But there's one thing that is foundational to all of that he's done, and that's his family. Every time that I talk to him about things that we're doing, he always mentions Michelle. He has 4 awesome kids. 2 of them followed him into the Army, and one of them, not quite sure yet, right? Maybe not. Army or Air Force, into the military to serve their country like their father. That's pretty amazing. And another amazing fact now, Michelle's coming into the Air Force. So in a month, she'll be an officer as well. So that speaks to the service of the family that he has led through the years. Again, pretty amazing. Now, I keep saying this amazing young officer, right? Well, he and I are the same age, and if you know anything about me, you know I've been in the Army for a little over 35 years. I think you're 32, right? Yeah, 32 years. And 2 weeks ago, he was out there killing it, running past all the young soldiers in the GAFB, earned the silver GAFB just 2 weeks ago. He did Nijmegen last year and the year before, right? Did the Dijkerk Road March, which is 40 kilometers a day for 2 days up massive hills. a bunch of other of these physically challenging things you don't think about doing when you're my age, right? Again, someone to look up to, because the young soldiers see a senior leader out there, and what are they going to do? It's going to motivate them to do forward. So he's leading the profession in many, many ways. And because of that, I can't believe that he honored me with the chance to promote him. So Chris, come on up. All right, you can join us up here.
Please remain seated for the publishing of the orders. Attention to orders. The President of the United States has reposed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, fidelity, and abilities of Christopher Stucky. In view of these special qualities and his demonstrated potential for increased responsibility, he is therefore promoted to the rank of Colonel, effective the first day of May, 2024, by order of the Secretary of the Army. The insignia for a colonel is a silver eagle with a U.S. shield on its chest and holding an olive branch in one talon and a bundle of arrows in the other. The olive branch and the arrows, held in the eagle's talons, denote the power of peace and war. The eagle always casts its gaze toward the olive branch, signifying that our nation desires to pursue peace, but stands ready to defend itself.
Now we'll present him with his certificate of promotion. All right.
Although it is not required by law, it is tradition that officers recite the oath of office upon their promotion. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand.
Okay, raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, Christopher Stucky,
I, Christopher Stucky,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this oath freely
that I take this oath freely
without mental reservation,
without mental reservation,
that I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties of the office I'm about to enter.
discharge the duties of the office of which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the Army's newest colonel, Colonel Christopher Stucky.
Thank you. What an honor for my family and for myself. This is just a great day. I need to present from the podium so that the people online can hear. Thank you, Colonel Kimbler, for referring to me as a young officer. I appreciate that. Like the only person that I think that would refer to me as a young officer. Thank you, Major Promotable Lorenz for narrating, and Corporal Doompit for the wonderful singing. That was excellent. I appreciate it. And thank you, Chaplain Trahan, for the wonderful invocation. And thank you, God, for giving me the strength to do great things. So distinguished guests, friends, colleagues, family, thank you for attending the promotion ceremony. This is a great day for me and my family, personally and professionally. This has been a very long road for me. I've been in for 32 years without a break in service. I came in as an enlisted surgical technician without any college. I was a private, and without a break in service, I'm standing in front of you as a colonel with a PhD, and I work as a research scientist. That's not a bad run, guys. Just want to tell you. So this achievement really is a true testament to perseverance and goal setting on my part, but it's also a reflection of how the Army values mentorship and continual professional development and the education of its service members, because I needed this opportunity in order to make it happen. So my journey wasn't always smooth sailing. It took mentorship from incredible NCOs and officers to help me reach my full potential. So I'm incredibly, incredibly proud that I was an enlisted surgical technologist for 10 years. I was a 91 Delta, which is now a 68 Delta. So my background as a surgical technician, working 10,000 hours clinically in the OR, when I became an officer, I became a perioperative nurse, and I worked in the operating room. So I was able to apply all the knowledge I had learned, and I still use that knowledge today as the perioperative consultant to the Army Surgeon General and as a perioperative nurse and through my research. So over the years, I've been fortunate to serve alongside some incredible leaders. Some of the best leaders that I served with were enlisted. I can say that when I was enlisted, I felt somewhat disenfranchised because I felt like I was treated like my rank was my level of intelligence. And I found it difficult to affect change and for people to seriously take my ideas. So that kind of provided me with an impetus to go to college and do the Army Enlisted Commissioning Program. Now that was the 90s. Army medicine has changed some and to flatten hierarchies and authority gradients. But as leaders, we need to recognize that sometimes the best ideas come from the bottom up, from our enlisted and from our junior officers, because we were all junior at one time. So not to sound brainwashed, but those that know me know that I love being in the military. There's a certain sense of purpose and camaraderie that comes with serving in the Army, and it's something I truly value. As a child, this is really the only career that I aspired to do. I'm truly living my dream. However, when I was a kid and I looked at what I would be doing in the military, I thought I'd be hand-to-hand combat, some sort of violent interaction with the enemy, and I didn't realize that I would be staring at a computer for like 10 hours a day. So it's kind of funny how things work. There is no greater honor than serving your country and providing life-saving care to our nation's warriors and their families, America's sons and daughters. So for many veterans, their time in the military becomes a defining chapter in their lives. They create lasting bonds with their fellow service members, bonds that are forged in shared experiences and challenges. So people that I've served with before over the years who are now out, they regard their military service as the good old days. Their social media is littered with pictures of their service, and when we get together, they want to discuss their time in the military because we share a common bond together. If you've ever been to a veteran's cemetery, you'll see headstones with service dates and awards on them. People are proud of their military service. We will all go on to civilian careers and to civilian life as our time together is fleeting. However, ladies and gentlemen, we need to realize that we are in the good old days right now. We have the fortune to be stationed overseas and to have an impact and a purposeful mission of service to others. Let us embrace this time we have together and cherish the opportunities we have been given. So many great leaders have impacted my career and personal development. Too many to list here, and you don't know a lot of these people, so it doesn't do any good for me to say some of them. But I want to recognize Colonel Frank Lee and Lieutenant Colonel Carolee Setterlin, both perioperative nurses who encouraged me to attend college, get commissioned, and pursue ACP. As an officer, I'd like to thank Lieutenant Colonel Dave Bennett, who's an ICU CNS. He's retired now. He promoted me to lieutenant colonel. He was really impactful to help steer me towards this moment. Lieutenant Colonel Bennett was a great philosopher. He once told me that being an ICU nurse was not very hard at all. He said, air goes in and out, blood goes round and round, and blue is bad. So, as a researcher, I'm going to recognize Colonel Retired Marla DeYoung and Dr. Felix Cabo for their scientific mentorship through multiple grants and publications. They were both deeply impactful to me and have been very important to my development as a researcher over the past 10 years. I hope that I have been and that I will be as good of a mentor to others as the people I have just mentioned. So finally, my family. I'd like to recognize my mom, my dad, my brother, who have been very supportive of my career and who are online listening right now. So it may appear that I have a small family because I only have 2 people here with me, but I do not. I have 4 kids and 4 grandchildren. As we are a military family and through my service, we have scattered children all over. I have children in Florida, Alaska, Hawaii, and Germany. Very proud of my kids. My son Everett, he works as a nurse in Florida, lives with my daughter-in-law Jessica and 2 grandbabies. My son, Staff Sergeant Christopher Stucky, he's an active duty Air Force F-35 crew chief. 12 years deep in his own career, he's stationed at Eielson Air Force Base in Alaska and lives with my daughter-in-law Shelby and 2 grandbabies. He's 12 years deep in his own career and he was born at my 2nd duty station. So that's an accomplishment. And my son, Second Lieutenant Nate Stucky, who is an active duty Army Nurse Corps officer stationed in Hawaii at Tripler, and my beloved daughter that is here, the youngest, she graduates from high school at the end of this month. So my family is the reason why I am here. So my wife, Michelle, is one of the most positive people that you will ever meet, and she has not viewed my career as a sacrifice, but as a blessing, truly. Can I get you to stand up so I can borrow part of your... Yeah. Or if you're... Oh, yeah. Michelle, can you stand up? So, I felt kind of uneasy being up here by myself because this is something that we did. This is Team Stucky. People that know me knows that we do everything together. We went through this whole journey together from 2nd Lieutenant to Colonel. We were dual military together. She's read every manuscript, copy edited and proofread all of the stuff that I've done. All of it. When we were trying to figure out the ACFT, she was out there with me in the yard trying to throw a ball backwards over my head, thinking, what's going on? What am I doing here? She took care of the kids through 2 deployments and has really encouraged me. A lot of you know her from all the Landstuhl ruck marches because she did all of them with me. We did Nijmegen twice, Norwegian foot march 3 times. So yes, so a lot of people know her in Landstuhl actually from showing up to these ruck marches as a veteran. So I just want to tell you, as an active duty service member, I wear the rank, but I know that this was a team effort, and I know your contributions and what you did, so I really appreciate it. All right, thank you. So I recognize that what I've said here today sounds like a combination of a retirement ceremony and a TED Talk. This is what I wanted to talk about. I'm sorry, my promotion, right? So promotion indicates future potential. I assure you that there's plenty of life left in these old decrepit bones for me to march forward. I plan to accomplish great things, march out of here with ferocity, accomplish objectives, and hopefully make everyone proud of me that's rooting for me. This concludes my speech. God bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, in keeping with Army tradition, please join us in singing of the Army song. This concludes today's ceremony. We invite everyone to join us in congratulating Colonel Stucky and his family in the Chapel Fellowship Hall for a reception. Thank you.